You're watching Good Day Columbus on Fox 28.
Oh, the perfect song for the mom panel as we introduce some lovely ladies today and get their opinions. And I want to introduce you to our panel of moms. Deborah Johnson next to us, DJ, the football mom. You may know her. Her son, Jay Richardson, is now with whom?
The New York Jets?
Yay! Good for you, former Buckeye, and she's here today. Next to her is Tony Bloomfield, and Tony has ColumbusMommies.com, and your son's playing for who? No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not.
Tony has hooked me up every baby along the way with like the products you must have, so she knows her stuff.
And next to Tony is Elena Shear, a former radio gal, and in fact, we were kindred spirits in the same camp, and we survived. Look at us. And she's back. MissSingleMama.com. Good to see you, Elena.
You too, Sean.
All right, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about some topics in the news. And these you may or may not have seen, but I'm sure you have opinions on, all right? The first one we're going to talk about is how young is too young to put your child in high heels. We have some examples for you. First of all, we'll start with, right here, we have Surrey Cruise. Did you look at that? Everybody take a peek.
Now they're little itty bitty heels.
But they are heels nonetheless, and she's itty bitty, right? Is she about 5 now?
Five.
All right, so who wants to start? Who wants to start with this?
I have a little girl who's 3, and she likes to play dress up. She wears like little Disney princess stuff. But if you've been to like a lot of the tween stores and the local stores, it's not a huge leap because all of those clothes are all so sexy now.
Right.
And if you go shopping, it's hard to find little girl clothes and to try to make your girl look like a little girl. So I think the heels are just like the next thing.
Well, do you remember clomping around when we were little?
Yes,
Those,
with
like,
your
little
mom's
play
shoes.
ones?
I don't know. I think I wore mine were orthopedic.
Okay, so
I'll jump in here.
jump in.
You know what? I think enough is enough. I think little kids should be little kids. Make-believe is one thing, but heels, I think there should be a rite of passage.
Absolutely.
It's enough time to wear heels. I have boys. Boys look at girls who wear heels. You don't want your little girl. If you don't want boys, spend a lot of time looking at your little girl's legs, don't wear heels.
I just keep thinking, what are they going to want to wear when they're 17?
Exactly.
Like if they're wearing this stuff when they're 3, 5, 7, what exactly is going to be so exciting about being 17?
Elena, you're little Miss Fashion, so what do you
I mean, getting dressed in the morning is one of my favorite things.
Right.
And my stepdaughter is a little fashionista too, and I've been thinking about her to answer
How
this
old?
question. She's
How old?
7.
Okay.
If she actually wanted to wear heels, which I think would be a really far stretch, if she put them on, she'd be like, get these off of me. These are terrible contraptions. If she really wanted to, I choose my battles, and also I really want her to be able to express her creative freedom with her fashion, you know? So I think it really depends, and there are much bigger issues I'll be worried about when she's a teenager.
Well, maybe it's this next topic. Let's talk about it. All right. How often, or what do you do when you're in a situation where you have a relative, all right, and your child is forced to hug or kiss that relative, whether it's great Aunt Edna who goes in for the wet smooch, or it's creepy Uncle Joe, or maybe it's just something nice that the whole family does. What's your opinion on that?
I guess the key is when your child resists.
Yeah, you don't
like,
I don't want to force them.
Do you make them hug grandma or not?
All right, Deborah, you start.
You know what? I think you have to trust your kids' instincts. You have to be real careful. With grandma, we're a huggy, touchy-feely family.
Right.
So all of our kids touch grandma, hug her, can't wait to see her. But if my kid was really reticent, there was something going on, you never know.
Sure.
And I would have to respect my kid's space and say, well, hey, grandma, I want them to do that. I try to cultivate that relationship. But I really think you have to respect your kid's space.
Tony, what do you think?
I would agree, but my 3-year-old little girl was shy, and we did encourage her to hug grandma and grandpa, but if she didn't want to do it, we didn't force her to do it. But we're also not huggy-feely outside of our family, so I'm not one of those people who's running up to my girlfriends and hugging and hugging and hugging. And I am. So I think she set that example. But the blog that this came from, do we need to leave you alone?
That's the next topic. Elena, let's talk about, do you think there's a difference between boys and girls and how they react to that kind of affection, or forced affection?
Yes, in individuals, it comes down to the child and their relationship with the adult. And my first reaction to this question is having a blended family. I have 2 stepchildren, and we've recently blended our family. And my stepson, he definitely doesn't want to kiss me. So he dodges, and we make a game out of it, and I'll chase him around the house until I get him, and give him a little kiss, and he's laughing. Because I do want the kisses, but definitely don't want to force that on the child.
Great. I think that's kind of the group vote is, maybe not force it. There's this whole notion of, what you're telling kids about their bodies, their space, what they should be forced to do.
If grandma has a problem with that, that's her issue, and that's her relationship. And I don't think that there should be pressure from adults if they're upset. Johnny didn't kiss me when he came over. I mean, that's grandma's issue.
Now,
not
talking about
Johnny's.
bodies. Magic Mike hits the screens on Friday. Got my tickets, very excited. Magic Mike the movie. It brings to the question, are we a more sexed up group of women, moms, who want and are clamoring to see this kind of thing?
Yeah, I always say McConaughey.
Oh, Mr. McConaughey. I know, do you remember or recall this much excitement over a movie about male strippers? Anyone?
This and 50 Shades of Grey.